What's up guys, it's Pillow King here, back with another deck profile. And before we go ahead and start this, wanted to ask you if you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's really appreciated and it supports the channel. But yeah, so let's go ahead and this is the prank kit list that I topped with the new set out when the new support. Deck is insane. And I'll show you like the basic combo for now if you wanted to start playing the deck, and I'll go ahead and go through all the cards just so you have a good idea of what they do. And yeah, so for every prank kit list you're gonna see 3 of each monster, and there's 4 of them, so we have 12 prank kids in total. So whenever all the prank kids are used for a link or fusion summon for a prank kid monster, they get an effect, which special summons another one. So Fansies, which is arguably the best one, he is when he's sent to the graveyard for that material, you foolish a prank kids card, which is usually one of the other combo pieces you want, and you special summon a prank kid. Lampsies, the fire one, burns for 500. Dropsies gives you 1,000 life points, and Roxy's banishes a card from your hand and special summons. We'll use banish a card from your hand, draw, and then special summon. And then for the hand traps, we're playing Triple Ash because it's one of the better hand traps right now. Because for one, this deck has a rough time against Ash, so I expect to be playing a lot of mirrors. And the Dino deck is really scary. That's the only real rough matchup for this deck, because literally miscellaneous just inherently beats the purpose of like your end board. So it's a little rough to play against. So I want Triple Ash so I can Ash it when they banish, and then Triple Nibiru because I believe right now it's one of the better hand traps. I might cut it down to 2 or just cut it in general. Not sure yet. Still testing it and stuff. And then Triple Gamma because he's actually the best hand trap right now. And 2 Veiler and 3 Imperms. This deck has a lot of difficulty dealing with the Buster Lock. So if I don't go first, I want to make sure that they don't get the chance to, i.e. all these. And that's it for the monsters and or hand traps. Then we play Triple Prank Kid's Place. What this does is on activation it searches a Prank Kid monster. If you fusion summon once per turn, you can activate this as a chain link and make everything gain 500 attack. Well, all your monsters gain 500 attack. And then if you link summon, all your monsters loses 500 attack. And it also chain blocks, which is really helpful. And 3 Prank Kid's Pandemonium, which is your fusion spell, which is what you're going to use during your opponent's turn, and it's just a quick play fusion spell during the main phase, but it locks you into Prank Kids, but that doesn't really matter too much. And then 1 Prank Kids Place. This one lets you pitch a Prank Kids card and summon a Prank Kid token. And then during the end phase, you can target 3 Prank Kids cards in your graveyard, except for Prank, shuffle all 3 into the deck and draw. So it lets you, how do I say, recycle all your, not all, but a lot of your Prank Kids cards, because you go through them rather quickly through the combos and stuff. So, you run on resources like low pretty quickly. So this does help, but I don't really want to ever see this card, if I'm being honest. If I didn't have to play it, I probably wouldn't. I'm not a big fan of the card. Then we play 1 Instant Fusion because it gets out 2 of the fusions. 1 for 1, 1 Terraforming, 1 Called By, and 1 Thunder Dragon Fusion because the best fusion is a Thunder. And you can send it off the Predator Plant, which is free. And for the last card, we play Prank Kid's Plan. And this card lets you link someone on your opponent's turn. And then it has a graveyard effect, so if it's in the graveyard and your opponent attacks, you can banish this card and shuffle in as many Prank Kids cards from your graveyard to the deck, and then your opponent's attacking monster loses 100 for each. It's not bad, but most of the time you'll be link summoning with it. It depends on the deck you're playing against, I guess. And then play 2 Rip Ride Rocket. What's his name? Rip Ride? Oh, that's the roller coaster. But 2 Rocket Ride. So this guy's really good. So on summon, he says if this card is fusion summon, you can have this card lose 1,000 attack this turn, and also it can attack directly. So it lets you chain block when you summon him. So you can chain block for your Prank Kids guys. And then also you contribute this card. It's not a quick effect, but it's during your turn. You contribute him and special summon 2 Prank Kids cards from your graveyard. The only restrictions they have to be non-fusion. So, and then 2 of the Prank Kids Battle Butler. Now this guy's gonna be part of the main combo. This is the best guy in the deck. So what he really does for you is that he contribute himself to a Raigeki their board. So during their turn, you're going to be double Raigeking them, and the way you do it is with the new Link monster. It tells you can banish it from the graveyard instead of it tributing itself. So there's 1 Raigeki, and then he's not once per turn, so you can activate him multiple times. That's the idea behind it. And then if they somehow get rid of it, even if it gets like Kaiju'd, because this card reads, if this card in your possession is sent to your graveyard by your opponent's card, you can target 1 non-fusion monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So it's pretty nice. So yeah, and then one Weather Washer. And so basically, if your prank kid attacks any prank kids while he's on the board, it's Armades, which is pretty free. And during your opponent's turn, you contribute this card and then target 2 prank kid non-fusions with different names in your graveyard. Special summon them. They cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. So it's pretty nice to have because you can like versus the Dino matchup. He's one of the better ones because you contribute him, summon the links back, and they can beat into it, but they can't kill it because they can't book it. So yeah. And then we play Double Doodle Doo. He on summon he's a searcher and he's a link to the points down, which is really nice. But on summon he searches any prank kid, spell, or trap from your deck. And then you can also tribute him during your turn and add 2 prank kid cards from your graveyard to your hand. And then for the new card, so this is what the deck was waiting for. This card could have been a vanilla and it would have been fine, to be fair. But so essentially what this card does is, for one, you can only link summon him once per turn, which is fair because we would always be wanting this card in the graveyard anyway. But so if a prank kid's monster you control would tribute itself to activate its effect during your opponent's turn, you can banish this card you control or from your graveyard instead. So essentially the play is, I'm going to Raigeki you once by banishing this, and then I'm going to do it again because I'll have to actually tribute it off this time, but I'll do it again because Battle Butler isn't once per turn. So yeah, this card is definitely good. The art's really nice too, and he's 1,000 attack, which isn't awful. So yeah, this is definitely a big game changer for the deck. And then we play one Bow Wow Bark, and all he does, so any prank kid monster this card points to gains 1,000 attack, which is really good. And then during your turn, or during your opponent's turn, my bad, you contribute this card, then target 2 prank kid cards with different names in your graveyard, except link monsters, add them to your hand. And also prank kid monster you control cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn, which is also nice. And then last prank kid card in our extra deck we play, which is the Link 4. So you have to link summon him. I guess must be link summoned. You contribute this card and you can destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls. And if this card in your possession is sent to your graveyard by your opponent's card, you can target 1 card in your graveyard except a link monster and add it to your hand. So the good part about these two in particular is if they like Maximus, you can get both their effects off, which is really nice as well. You know, this card's really not going to go off if they Maximus, unless if it's like past turn 2 maybe. But this one in particular is going to get you any card from your graveyard, which is really nice in general. And then you play 1 Predaplant Ready Anaconda for the Thunder Dragon fusion, 1 Unicorn, and 1 Access Code. And then because we can make it in this 19 New combo, we play 1 Totally Awesome because Drop Seas is a Aqua type. So I'm going to just go ahead and go through the combo real quick with you guys. Just any prank kid does the full combo. So essentially, like I said, any normal summon prank kid. So you normal summon the prank kid, you go ahead and take him away. We're going to go ahead and summon the Link 1. Prank kid's going to trigger. And then, so we're going to go ahead and Foolish 1. In this case, so Foolish 1, so Foolish Plan, and summon any other prank kids. Okay, so we summon, let's just say, Lampsies. And then we go ahead and link 2. Link 2 into Doodle Doo. And then it'd be Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, however you want to structure your chain links. And we'll go ahead and summon up another prank kid. And this will go ahead and add us Pandemonium. So then we go ahead and activate Pandemonium and fusion summon them off. And we summon Rip Ride Rocket. You know that's going to be its new name. The effect of the drop seas that's sent to graveyard is actually going to go ahead and trigger as well. So then we summon Roxy's. Then we use the effect of Rocket, tributing himself, and we go ahead and summon back the Doodle Doo and any other prank kid. And then we go ahead and use the effect of Doodle Doo, tribute. It adds us. So here's where you can really do it however you want from here. So when you activate the effect of Doodle Doo to add, if you know what you're playing against, you can go for a Raigeki and a Heavy Storm because you can always do both. But if you don't know, I mean if you already know, then you know you can go ahead and just get either one. Like if you know double Raigeki is better, you can get double Raigeki. If you want to get Raigeki Heavy Storm, you can get Raigeki Heavy Storm. So you know, just for the purposes, we would go ahead and do this. Then we go ahead and link these off, and we go ahead and summon the Bow Wow. And then the Roxy's effect will trigger, banishing any other extra card we have in our hand, drawing one, and summoning a Prank Kid. And this one doesn't really matter as much. We just summon whichever one at this point. And then we can set to pass. And like, you know, it looks underwhelming, but one card made us go plus 1, 2, 3, plus 3 just off one card, which is really insane. And then so during their turn, if you want to double Raigeki, so during their turn, essentially, you're going to use this effect, like at the beginning, to get whatever Prank Kids you're missing. So if you have Dropsies on board, you're going to get these, because Battle Butler requires Fansies. It requires Fansies, Lampsies, and Dropsies. So you're going to get whichever ones you're missing. Now, if you want to do double Raigeki, you're going to let this guy tribute himself. I'm sorry, if you're going to do double Raigeki, yeah, you're going to let this guy tribute himself, and you're going to add the 2 back. But if you want to do the Raigeki Heavy Storm, then you're going to go ahead and not have him tribute himself, and you're going to banish the Meow Meow Engrave. And so that will let you get the Raigeki and the Heavy Storm. And the insane part about this is when you do Pandemonium, all the Prank Kids effects are going to trigger as well. So you're going to not only have the Fusion or the Link on board, but you're going to have more Prank Kids as well, which is just disgusting. But yeah, that's the deck. It's super fun, and it got insanely better since we got the support. It fixes the biggest problem that the deck had, which was, you know, obviously being able to play without Poly 2 monsters. And definitely expect to see this deck. A big weakness for the deck is standby phase. In the last round of Swiss, I lost to Infernal Knights Game 3 because he double Twin Twisted on my back row. He Twin Twisted once, missed the fusion spell, and I was like, okay, thank God. But then he does it again and hits the Pandemonium, and the only unfortunate thing about Pandemonium is it says you can't activate it during battle phase. If you could activate it during battle phase, it'd be broken. Well, it's really just, it has to be activated during the main phase, which is the issue. Other than that, you know, the card's crazy, obviously because it's a quick play fusion spell, it's searchable. But it's just like, you know, that really hurt, because he effectively just shut off my turn, and, you know, without having multiple hand traps versus Infernoble, it's rough. But a definitely bad matchup for this deck that you want to side for is the Dino matchup, because Miscellaneous just turns off your entire play. You know, as you see, double Raigeki can affect something that doesn't hurt it, which is, like I said, where Weather Washer is going to come in and save you with the Link monsters, and then you'll kill them on their turn, which is a lot nicer. But yeah, that's the deck. It's super fun. If you guys have any other decks from this new set that you want to see specifically, let me know. I'll most likely be doing a deck profile on just about every deck here, so definitely watch out for that, because I love this new set. It looks so much fun. But yeah, see ya.